All right, everyone, and welcome to our book club. Today, we're getting into Andy Curinga's Make Your Money Work. Now, what I love about this book is it's not just some dry list of financial rules. It's really a modern-day parable. I think it's going to give us a ton to talk about. So let's just dive right in. So the book kicks off with a question that, let's be honest, probably feels painfully familiar to a lot of us. And this is where we meet our two main guys, Jasper and Tim. They're sitting in a cafe, staring at their bank accounts, and asking this exact question. And this really sets up the first big idea in the book, this feeling of being completely trapped. You know, that sense that you're running faster and faster financially, but you're just not getting anywhere. The author has a great name for it, the modern hamster wheel. So let's meet these two guys. First up is Jasper. He's working at a startup, trying to juggle this kind of luxury lifestyle with this massive pile of student debt. I mean, he feels like he can't even think about starting a family. And then you've got Tim. He's recently separated, and his salary just vanishes. It's gone between rent, child support, and just trying to have a social life. So what's the bottom line? Despite having pretty good jobs, they're both totally broke. And it slowly starts to hit them. They're stuck. They're just caught in this relentless cycle of earning money, spending it, and a lot of the time going into debt just to keep up. It's their wealthy friend Richard who later calls this a form of modern slavery. I mean, wow. That's a powerful and pretty provocative idea, and it really sets the stage for everything else in the book. So, feeling completely and utterly lost, they do what a lot of us would do, right? They call that one friend who seems to have it all figured out. For them, it's their old classmate, Richard, and he agrees to help. And he starts with a story about his first mentor and this one powerful aha moment that changed his financial life forever. Now this declaration is the absolute core of the first lesson. Notice, it's not a suggestion, it's a powerful, non-negotiable statement from Richard's mentor. This single idea is presented as the absolute foundation for building any kind of wealth. So here's how it works in practice. You take at least 10% of all your income and you put it aside for yourself the moment you get paid. Before rent, before bills, before anything. It's a pretty radical shift, isn't it? You go from saving what's left over to treating your future self as your most important bill to pay. It's not just a financial tactic, it's a psychological one. It completely rewires your brain to prioritize your own prosperity. But as we're about to see, just saving the money is only the beginning. The next big step is putting that money to work. And Richard, well, he learned this lesson the hard way. He shares the story of a very painful mistake so that Jasper, Tim, and all of us can learn from it. So picture this. You've got a young, eager Richard. He's diligently saved up his first pot of money, and then he gets swept up in a classic get-rich-quick scheme. A fellow student with a flashy watch promises these huge returns from day trading penny stocks, and Richard, without really understanding any of it, just hands over everything he's saved. And the result? A total loss. He lost every single pound. The so-called expert just vanished. And Richard was left with nothing. I mean, what a devastating blow, but it came with a very, very valuable lesson. You know, his mentor doesn't see this as a failure. He sees it as a critical learning opportunity, and he boils it down to two golden rules. First, if you don't understand an investment, just don't do it, period. And second, only give your money to people with a proven track record of making it grow, for other people, not just for themselves. This brings us to a really, really interesting part of the book. This is where we move from the practical rules into a much deeper philosophy about what wealth even is. The discussion really shifts from being just about money to being about life itself. And here it is, the crucial point from Richard's mentor. True wealth isn't about having a massive bank account. It's freedom. It's the ability to control your own time, to fill your days with things you love, instead of being a slave to a schedule that you don't control. So, what's the engine that powers this freedom? It's compound interest. The book uses this old analogy of your money being slaves that work for you. Their earnings are the children, and those children then have their own children. You know, a more modern way to think about it is like having an army of tiny robots all working around the clock, just building your wealth. The book gives a simple but really powerful example of this. Imagine you invest just 10 pounds for a newborn child. In 20 years, it more than triples. But if you leave it for 50 years, that same 10 pounds grows to a staggering 167 pounds. That's just the power of time. It's incredible. And that's the core concept, right there, in a nutshell.
It's not just about what you save, it's about creating a system where your earnings start generating their own earnings. That's how you build real, sustainable wealth that works for you, even when you're not.
Okay, so this all sounds great in theory, but what's the actual practical takeaway? Well, Richard boils everything he's learned down into a simple, actionable blueprint for his friends and for us.
And here it is, the 3-step plan. 1. Start filling your wallet. That means paying yourself that 10% first. It's non-negotiable. 2. Control your expenses. And this isn't about being cheap. It's about being intentional, really knowing the difference between your needs and your wants. And 3. Multiply your savings. Put that money to work building those streams of income.
So the book leaves us with this powerful question, and I think it's the perfect place for us to start our discussion. After hearing all this, how do you define wealth? Is it a number in a bank account? Or is it the freedom to live life on your own terms? I'm really curious to hear what you all think.